That's why if you listen to Square Dance by Eminem on the Eminem show, he says, "Can a bitch don't want no beef with Slim."
Matt, look out!
Sorry,
Fucking
a
cat,
cat.
dude, look out, Matt! Whoa, shit!
I think I'll be okay.
Whoa,
A beautiful
fuck.
creature.
We
Folks.
just gave our listeners a little peek into the pre-show conversation. If you can believe, it's Bobby talking about Eminem.
Matt was subconsciously calling Babastis closer to him so he'd have an asthma attack and die because he doesn't care about white rappers and white-based rappers such as LL Cool J. That's what you called him.
I care about white rappers. Like I think Machine Gun Kelly definitely beat Eminem in their back and forth.
Why?
I'm trying to get Bobby to freak out.
Is it because Machine Gun Kelly had sex with an objectively more beautiful woman?
Yes, I believe so.
That's
What's
pretty
up?
cool.
Welcome to the Locker Room Talk. Matt Maran, Joe Gorman, Bobby Sheehan, our guest today, one of the most unique, creative, and hilarious comedians in New York City. Brandon Puff is here.
Hello, everybody
You
there.
might recognize him from the Puff and the Boys group chat.
Yes,
Yes,
you may
you-
know me from there,
You listeners might recognize Brandon Puff from the private group chat that we are in with him.
where I post an alarming amount of Sonic the Hedgehog pornography.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, dude.
An alarming amount.
Alarming, because there's an it's like they say there's an acceptable amount of rat feces in cereal.
Yeah,
Like
there?
there's
Bug
an
legs.
yeah, this whole thing.
Not oat bran. No one get near that shit.
Not even
Rats
rats.
What do you
getting
think
an
has
oat
the
bran?
most shit compared?
for
First
rat
off,
What's
feces?
Cocoa Pebbles, most amount of shit.
You
It's
think
hidden-
What
so?
cereal
blends in
has
with
It's
the-
hidden in
has
the
the most
texture.
rat
I
shit?
don't
It's
know.
got to be one of the brown ones, Cocoa Puffs, something
No,
like that.
I think probably the mini wheats, because so many grooves, it probably gets trapped inside. And
Yeah.
How about Honey Crisp?
dust particles? Of
That
shit.
tastes like ass anyway.
That's fun with Cinnamon Toast Crunch because they got shit you can see.
I like
in the
Cinnamon
golden
Toast
line.
Crunch.
Yeah.
I liked it when they moved away from. Remember when it was originally Cinnamon Toast Crunch? The mascot was originally 3 bakers, and they're like, get rid of these other 2 bakers. We're just gonna have the old guy Wendell, and then they're like, we feel uncomfortable with this old white guy,
Yeah.
so let's instead have the Cinnamon Toast Crunch themselves become sentient.
They got rid of the chef.
They got rid of the chef.
What race was he?
He was an Aryan.
He was.
He
but
fled
like, was
Germany.
he Greek? Oh, he was German.
Yeah.
He was full-blooded
He
German.
had 2 options. You can either go to Austria or you can go to Post Cereal.
And you can make Cinnamon Toast Crunch while hiding
yeah.
for war crimes. That
What
you
was your
committed.
What was your go-to breakfast cereal? Puffy Poo.
Captain Crunch? Probably that was a really good one.
Which one's your favorite?
I like the classic, but once they came out with the berry one, that was really good.
Oh, okay. I like. I'm
Berry's
classic,
good.
but once
Berry's
they came out
good.
with peanut butter, that's like my. I think peanut butter Captain
Peanut
Crunch is
butter
my
one is
favorite
really good.
cereal.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude.
Damn, you really let me down there when you said
sorry.
berry. I was ready for you to
How-
say peanut butter.
Well,
I
how do you
was
feel
ready
about
for him to
Oops?
say Trader Joe's Puffins were his favorite.
They
fucking
are.
cereal.
They are delicious. I only eat puff food that has like my name in it. I only go to places that have puff in it.
Yeah.
Why not, dude? That's your
Yeah.
namesake, right?
It is.
You
Damn
get
right.
50% off at those places.
Damn
Where's
right
the last
I
name
do.
Puff come from? Is it
It's
short?
German, apparently.
Yeah.
It means to
Puffenstein.
push or shove,
It means yeah.
according to
To
Google.
poof a Jew into a
Yeah.
gas chamber.
Poof. Goodbye. Hello.
Oh, you get poof in the train.
I'm sorry. Puffs are
Sorry,
Nazi.
sorry, young one. Your parents go poof in the shower.
Whoopsie doodle.
If I was being holocausted that way, I wouldn't even be upset. Because
Dude, I'd fucking hate if I got holocausted.
You're like fucking hiding out in a attic, and all of a sudden, Jamie Kennedy pops out. And he's like, you thought I was a kindly milkman helping you stay here. You got holocausted. And like Anne Frank's like, oh, I don't believe I got to write about this in my journal. Man, I really took us there, huh?
You went
That was
there.
a full-on Saturday Night Live
That was-
sketch, dude.
Some woman
good.
being in the
Makes
attic
sense
and
you used to work
the
there.
Nazis come up and it's like Grand Theft Auto, but instead of wasted, holocausted.
And then they give, that whole joke they gave Hitler the gas bill.
Yeah.
And he said, well, this is going to holocaust me a lot.
Mm.
Did he really say that?
He did. It's a direct
That was an
quote.
actual
That's
quote?
despicable.
Did
Yeah.
he then shoot himself?
He right before he shot himself, he said, "I am an atheist vegetarian." By the way,
Yeah.
and killed
Nice.
himself.
Make this a
Yeah.
fucking
It's a bold
selling
statement
point
from
for that.
Hitler.
Yeah.
It's a very bold
That's-
statement.
Yeah, they won in the end because every time Jews go to buy bread, they have to ask how much does the Holocaust.
Ooh, I got that. I feel like our Gentile friends might not necessarily. Can you explain what challah is? For our
Challah
Gentile
is
friends?
the good Jewish bread. Like matzah is like bad Jewish
and
bread.
Ja Rule was a big fan.
Ja Rule is a big fan.
Well, he used to yell "Holla" in his
Oh,
songs.
right. Yes.
He was just
Was he the one that would open up with holla, like where they
Yeah.
had the echo chamber in the
Yeah.
background?
Pro wrestling manager Teddy Long was actually Jewish. Challah, challah, challah. That's
Hell
just
yeah,
for
dude.
Joe and our wrestling fans.
Don't fucking loop me in on that shit, dude.
You get that?
Yeah, I know. Matt bombs, and he's like, "Oh, that was for Joe." It's like, no,
Joe
that's
told
fine.
me off mic to do that riff. He said it
Yeah.
would crush.
That's specifically for my fan base, Joe. It's like
Yes.
that's. No, it's fine.
So what made you get into hentai, and why specifically are you sharing with us in the group chat?
Well,
See,
listen,
sometimes we have comedians on the podcast, and that's how they got into comedy.
yeah,
with
let's
you.
skip that. Let's skip that. Let's get into the real,
What
the real
inspired
meat and
you-
potatoes.
What inspired you to get into hentai? Who are you guys?
Specifically
Who are you
Sonic the
hentai guys?
Hedgehog, or I mean, how far back in the origin story
Yeah.
are we talking? Because I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog, I think, is just a hilarious character to hentais,
Yes.
as they say in Japan, because
To-
they make them
that's what they say-
pregnant.
that's how
That's
they
a
say in
big one.
Japan?
Yeah, they say the hentai something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they say it in Japanese, but they do say it.
Is hentai not Japanese?
No, well, actually, no, not technically. It kind of is.
Yeah.
It originated in Egypt.
Yes, in ancient Egypt.
The first pharaoh to jerk off to a hieroglyphic.
Yeah.
of his cousin,
Yes.
because they all just enjoyed
Yes,
incest back then.
Pharaoh hentai
Yeah.
of the Nile.
Fair nut in common, huh? You
Yeah.
nutted? Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. But
Hell yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog, no, origins of hentai. That was when the American soldiers came over after World War II, because they brought comic books. So that kind of brought in manga and stuff.
Nice.
It's like their art style mixing with that, and then hentai came about.
And then there was like one hentai of a woman fucking a spider, and Stanley was like, "Hey, I got an idea."
I got an idea for a comic book.
That's awesome. So in a way, it's East meets West.
Yeah, it's really
So
a
like
blend of
Americans came
cultures.
over and were like to the Japanese like, "Hey, look at these cool
They were like,
fucking
sorry.
fucking comic books,"
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, we know what to do with
Yeah.
this."
Yeah, they were like, sorry, we nuked you. Here's Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Here's Spider-Man?
And they're like, our brains are actually like really melted from the radiation,
Yeah,
so
really bad.
We got to draw tits on all of these.
Absolutely. And I think it worked out great. I
Do you
mean,
think
huge
hentai
into-
exists if we don't drop the 2 bombs?
I think it exists, but in a different format.
This is why
I think
Matt got
it's
kicked
like-
out of college.
He has like
My
fucking
professor
glasses
asked me the
on.
same question.
Honestly, I majored in history, and my senior thesis was about the atomic bomb. I legitimately could have asked this, and it was one of those like small classes with like 15 kids. So it was like a discussion class. Imagine I asked that.
Did you take it pass fail?
No, for your senior thesis class, you can.
I did.
You could pass fail for your like. Because in my school, if you made it pass fail, it wouldn't help your GPA positively or negatively, so it wouldn't count towards your graduating
You just
well,
have
credit.
to have-
Joe's GPA is pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I passed, dude. No, you
Yeah.
just have if you have enough credits, it doesn't matter.
Do you remember what your thesis was on?
Yeah. The negative impact of doing podcasts with people on the spectrum
Oh, shit.
and how it can increase coffee consumption.
Would you say you did more theory or praxis?
Well, I had to get in the trenches, really roll up my sleeves, because this was like 8 years before podcasting was invented. you got to take into account at the time. This was dangerous, uncharted territory.
Yeah.
I went to college when they still had radio broadcasting as a fucking program. There's no way. Like I had to learn cursive as a kid. That's gonna fucking age you.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
now
I
kids
learned
learn like
cursive as a
what?
kid.
Now kids are gonna learn like coding and shit instead.
Yeah.
Like they have like this new form of math, and we as old people say, "I don't get this fucking math."
Now,
that long form math.
when you were a child being made to learn cursive, and we'll get back to the hentai in a second.
Of course.
But did you even at the time be like, "This is completely useless"? Busy.
Oh,
work?
absolutely. I was like,
Yeah.
why do we print rocks? Like, why don't we just have like, what's the benefit of this? Like, who's gonna get a letter? Because like they were like, oh, you got to write a letter. I'm like, who the fuck am I gonna fucking write a letter to?
Yeah.
I was like, my parents don't write letters.
Yeah.
They talk. Everyone talks on the fucking phone. Why do I need to do the date? And like the only time I write a letter is for my job when I have to write some formal letter, and even then, it's copy and paste. I don't sit down saying. It's all auto-filled. It's all done through Grammarly.
Even though it wasn't like there weren't computers and phones the way there are now. When I was a kid, like I still had a computer at home. Like there were, like when I was doing handwriting, I was like, I already know what Times New Roman is. That's always going to be better than me.
Why
Like-
did they make us? They made us like handwrite a rough draft and then type up a final draft.
Yeah.
So you get the best of both. But it's
They
like,
really made you do that?
yeah.
That
Dude, I
sounds
went to a retarded school in fucking Kansas. It
Was
sucks.
it like public school or
Yeah,
private?
of course it was a public
Okay,
school.
just making sure.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
making
dude.
sure.
I didn't get to go to a private. Come on, dude.
I
went
told
to
someone
public
recently
school.
that I went to like a public school in Queens, and they were from Queens also, and they were like, "Oh, you went to public school?" I'm like,
course, Matt.
"What about me made you think I went to private school?" Like,
Matt goes to a private school. It's like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, only instead of having like a fucking snazzy sports coat, he rips off the sleeves, rips off the pant legs to make them shorts.
Yeah.
Teaches wrestling to the fucking students.
Yeah.
Teaches wrestling to the chess team.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a School of Rock sequel in a way.
Oh, in
Yeah.
a way, yeah.
Right.
I'd be like the wrestling teacher where like the kid's going for a martial arts class, and I come out with like fucking elbow pads and a wrestling ring and a steel chair.
I was thinking about like how awesome college was, just in terms of like not zero consequences, but like low stakes. Like,
Yes.
oh, I missed class, but
Yeah.
that was like the first time you could miss class, and they were like, "Where were you, young man?" You know, it's like as long as you show up for the final, that's
Yeah.
what really teaches you how to manage your time and make sure that the end product.
Yeah, when you could
So
like
good.
decide, oh, I'm going to spend more time on this paper and miss this lecture for this class. You're actually
Yeah.
making decisions for your life.
We were, I was going to college like right when Facebook came out.
Yeah.
And it was when you could input your classes into your Facebook profile. You would have like what class, like English 105.2
Yeah.
with Professor Avery. And then you could also see the other people in your classes.
Oh,
and
wow.
originally you could, designate it for studying and like getting study groups. Are like, hey, I missed class. What's the homework assignment? Everyone used it to fuck.
Yeah.
Like, oh, who's that hot chick
Did
in
it
the
still
class?
have the feature where you like rank the women in your college? Because that was a
That
thing
was
in
the
movie.
original what it was
Yeah.
for originally. And that's kind of based on MySpace and Hot or Not, which was also prevalent. I had a MySpace comedy page at the time. Like I had like videos, and thank God all of that stuff has been wiped.
Did you have Evanescence playing in the background, like when you
No.
access the page?
I had one of my club sets playing Joe Gorman. It was Joe Gorman comedy, baby.
Do you remember what the set was about?
Oh, awful shit. Awful shit.
What did you talk about when you were new to comedy?
It's like fucking sex.
Masturbating.
Masturbate. Like same shit I talk
Jerking
about
off.
now.
Yeah.
But in a more eloquent
But
way.
now it's like through the eyes of experience.
Right.
Yeah. not wonder.
through a weathered soldier.
Well, the appeal was like I was like this like fucking 19-year-old doing comedy, which is always like exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I took like a little break after I graduated college, and had to get like a job.
Yeah.
And then like when I was 25, I was like, no, I want to do comedy.
Joe's the only person I know that took a break
Yeah.
and actually went back. Almost every comic that I
Yeah.
know, they're taking a break. I'm like, they're
Never
done.
seeing him
Well,
again.
I was
Yeah.
able to take a break and then take it back up again when the time most people start.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of beneficial.
I've seen people do that. Like they went, like Louis did like a couple mics and then took off for a year.
And like I even think like maybe like in hindsight it wasn't as long. It just might have felt longer.
Yeah.
Because I was so young.
Like
at the
people
time.
start in high school, then
Yeah.
go away to college and do it here and there, and then really pursue it when they graduate.
Like I feel like I started in like 2014 because that's when I got passed at the clubs.
Yeah.
And that's when I got like serious in
Yeah.
terms of like, all right, but who really gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who really gives a shit?
Yeah.
But
I
in
give
the
a
long
shit.
run,
I give a shit.
Yeah.
tough. No.
What I give a shit about
I
is
give a
how
shit.
Puff got into hentai.
Yes. Which is where would he leave off on that?
I think we were
Japs.
talking about how the
Japs and their
Japanese-
fucking
Japs.
fucked up shit.
how the,
the
Japanese
Japs and their
created
assless
it.
chaps.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
yeah.
GIs came back from bombing the shit out of
Yeah.
them.
No, I think I discovered hentai like in high school, a little after I first discovered porn. Because the first porn thing that I found that like really amazed me was anal. Like I didn't know that was a thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh. I thought like girls enjoyed anal, like all girls enjoyed.
Oh,
anal.
because in the
Oh, so
porn-
this was the
yeah.
first time you saw a porn where they didn't enjoy anal. That excited you?
yeah, I was like,
Anal,
oh, this
dude.
is great.
Oh, wait a minute. They could try to fucking, hey, get the hell out of there.
They can
Yeah.
put a loop in there. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
that's the thing. Every time you watch a porn, there's never a porn where the girl isn't like, I want you to put it in my... Like, they always are so excited.
Do you not know about penal?
Oh, I mean, that exists. But I mean, in general, when you're looking at anal videos, there's like the girls enjoying it.
Yeah.
That gives you certainly a distorted view of reality.
Did you ever
Yeah,
watch the
yeah.
one where the guy bends the woman over and he always says, fudgical time, and then winks at the camera?
Is that how long is the video?
15 minutes.
Yeah, I did
I
once
may have seen
watch.
that one.
I did once watch a wrong hole compilation.
It's when an unfunny woman is on a podcast.
Oh,
getting the wrong
It's just a
hole.
compilation of a guy fucking and then popping out for a second, accidentally going in the butt, and then having to stop.
Do you ever get the ones where you hear the guy talk and he's like a French or Swedish guy? He's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like very
Wait, who's that,
sexy
Rocco?
Italian. Yeah, he's like Rocco.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think Rocco would ever say I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. For
I think
doing
it's in his
that.
waiver.
That's not
now
the
he has
Rocco.
to.
That's not the Rocco I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, he starts treating women with respect. It's like when Bob Dylan started playing the electric guitar.
Yeah.
We're like, you fucking changed, man. You used to be cool.
You're not an
dude.
artist anymore, man. You're not
Yeah.
a real artist.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think I only ever heard about hentai years after I knew about porn. And it was only ever as a bit.
Well, did you ever watch anime though?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
LA
yeah,
Blue
no,
Girl.
I
that's
wasn't.
the
Right, I was
you know,
never
that's
really
the
into
gateway
anime.
into
LA
hentai.
Blue. Yeah, dude. And
So
like
you're like-
hentai will do stuff that legally a human being can't do.
Yeah, yeah. Like
And you got the
Sonic gets
imagination
pregnant.
runs wild.
Like Sonic being pregnant.
That's honestly that's
It's a-
kind of the tip of the iceberg.
It's not. It's
That's
not.
like
Yeah, it's not
even-
illegal to fuck a
That's not
pregnant
even that
woman. I don't
bad.
know why that was your first example. Brandon thinks it should be illegal to fuck pregnant women.
Whoa.
By the way that you told Matt, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like you're a fucking hipster.
Yeah.
You're like,
That's
yeah.
like,
You basically said like the Neutral Milk Hotel
Yeah.
of.
yeah, it's just kind of like the tip of the iceberg
Yeah,
for
I'm
Sonic indie
so
pregnancy.
drawings of Sonic fucking pregnant. And Puff is like, that's what the fucking rubes are into.
yeah,
The
yeah.
hacks like that.
What, did you
think-
just move out of your parents' house?
yeah.
yeah, like come on, man, catch up, dude.
Yeah.
I think
What's-
the weirdest one?
Yeah.
I've
What's
seen,
the weirdest one?
It was like poorly drawn art, so it was made by like a 14-year-old or just
Uh-oh.
like a really untalented 30-year-old.
Like Chris Chan.
possibly. It wasn't a Chris Chan thing though, but it was it was
Christine
like
Chan.
That's
Hey,
right.
we can dead
That's
name
right.
on this pod, dude. This is the last bastion of free speech. we aren't monetized nearly enough to risk it. So
Damn
yeah,
right.
dead name away. So anyway, this trans person who you hate.
Yeah, so this trans person who I may or may not hate, depending on their identity, they drew a comic, a 3-panel comic, where it's like a young Mexican boy who looks out his window and he sees a full moon, and then he turns into a diaper. That was the whole comic.
Hell
And it was
yeah.
like a wear diaper thing, because that's like something people think about. They think about, like, they get off on the idea of being a diaper. And I
Really?
think it's
Sounds
like the
shitty.
idea of being
It
used
may
as a
be.
diaper.
Maybe
I don't-
is the diaper Margot Robbie's?
If I turned
It
into a
is.
diaper, I'd be pissed.
You like that, Bobby?
After
a
Taco
beautiful
Bell.
woman shitting and pissing on me. You like that? You little fucking freak.
Yeah,
Look
man.
at
On
Bobby.
you specifically?
Oh, yeah.
That would be the worst part.
That I'm there and I'm getting mad because I'm being away from Kelly. And so like it's like me being tortured. That's what gets Bobby off. Also, that a man's covered in excrement and piss, dude.
Margot Robbie's excrement and piss.
Man, dude.
That's fine. If she's there, that's cool.
That's okay.
She'll get- she's
she
gonna
can just
get-
be in the room. She doesn't have to be the focus.
Margot Robbie, are you okay with this porno? Get on the podcast. Let us
Get
know.
on.
She can also plug the Barbie movie. Did you see that
Yeah.
one?
I saw the trailer.
Hasn't
Is it
come
out yet?
yet?
Yeah, it's out, isn't
No.
it?
No,
Next
it's
month.
coming out with Oppenheimer. That's the whole
Oppenheimer
thing.
and Barbie is the double feature
Is
I've
it
been waiting
Open
for.
or Oppen?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Was he German?
Ja.
Ja?
I think so. No, I don't think he was German.
What is that?
Oppenheimer? It
Yeah.
sounds like a German name.
No, but is this a movie?
Yeah, they're doing a movie about Robert Oppenheimer.
Who is this?
He's the guy who created
He's the
Barbie
guy.
doll.
Yeah, Atomic Bomb.
Oh,
It's Oppenheimer and Leslie Groves
Yeah,
led the Manhattan.
it's all part
Project.
of the Manhattan
Oppenheimer was
Project.
the main scientist who created the
I
atom
somehow
bomb in America.
went my
He-
adult life without knowing his name.
That
He was
yeah,
the one
my
who said, "I am now become
Okay,
death,
I
Yeah.
destroyer of
Destroyer
worlds."
of
yeah,
Worlds.
my entire
What
senior
a dork, dude.
thesis.
That he said that.
He was,
My-
he
yeah.
was saving that one in his pocket.
Yeah.
That's
Practicing
actually
it the night before.
Yeah, dude, it's actually gonna be him like Googling cool things to say.
Yeah.
Do you
Like
think
right
he's
before the
gonna-
bomb goes off.
Is he gonna say it in the movie? Do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Zoom
He
in.
has to.
I am become death.
It would have been cool if he said Mondays. Am I right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta take a shit, and then he was like, Oh yeah,
Whoops.
I said this. Like yeah, when he has like
Well, it's probably like we've talked about like famous people's last words. He probably said a lot of things, and they picked "I am destroyer of
He
worlds."
should have.
he didn't say that. He said that after the bomb went off.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he realized the power, like
Yeah.
the destruction he unleashed.
He
Yeah.
knew. He totally knew while he was doing it. How
I
could
think
you
he
not?
should have John Wayne'd it.
Well,
he
it
shoulda
was-
just stoic. Said nothing.
Well, a lot of those, a lot of the scientists were German refugees
Yes.
and Nazi
Yeah.
scientists.
All the rocket
Yeah.
scientists.
Yeah.
I know that was a lot of them.
Or
It's
no,
kinda-
they were people who weren't Nazis and they escaped Germany because they didn't like the Nazi movement.
Some-
They were Jewish scientists from Germany who fled and came to America. And honestly, like part of the reason we were the first ones to get the atomic bomb, like Germany as a country, their infrastructure probably would have been able to get to it first, but so many of their best scientists came to America because they were not liked by the Nazis.
But how cool is it that the Nazis were studying the occult?
That's pretty sick.
That's pretty sick, dude.
Yeah.
How come like modern Nazis don't do that shit?
Maybe
Why
they
are
do.
modern Nazis so fucking ugly now and they don't worship the devil? Worship the fucking devil, you fucking lazy Nazis, dude. You're gonna go around like fucking crying about Antifa and you don't even worship Satan?
They stopped-
Worship Satan and then we'll talk.
They stopped worshiping the devil because of Little Nas X.
Really?
Yeah, they were like,
Little
now the
Nazi
devil's
X.
good. Now the devil's gay.
Well, they
So-
got to de-gayify
Was
the
fat
fucking
and
devil,
gay.
dude.
de-gayify the devil.
Actually, South Park made the devil gay first.
that's true with Saddam
right.
Hussein.
Yeah.
Relax,
Fucking
guy. I
Saddam.
like gay men.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Damn, really makes you think.
I think Jesus would be a little bit gay.
Oh, damn, dude.
'Cause he's a little
hanging
bit of
around.
all
How are
of
you gonna
us.
hang around 12 men?
And he
3
was
is the
shredded.
maximum.
Shredded.
Mm-hmm.
The
You
most
know he
famous,
was dripping when he was
the
on
most
that
famous
cross.
story about him is about him getting nailed,
Oh yeah.
fucking by dudes probably.
Turning sweat into wine.
And he was a Galilean. The guy who can't riff.
a Galilean.
Yeah. And he was a fucking carpenter too.
Yeah.
Fucking gay, right, guys?
Do you think he smelled really bad?
Now,
Because technically everybody did, so it was like normal, right,
Yeah.
for everyone.
and
But
he
Probably
was
smelled the
5'1",
best.
they say.
5'1".
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Everyone
really
was
gay.
like really hella short. dude.
short
Yeah.
king of the
Like
Jews.
Goliath, that fucking giant. Goliath was only 6'7".
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was like a Baron Trump.
Yeah.
I thought he was one of the Anunnaki, which are like the ancient race of giants. They found
How
their
come all the
bones.
cool shit's not in the Bible anymore?
They took it out. They
Yeah,
decided to get
dude,
rid of
They
it.
still got the thing about stoning gay people though.
Yeah, but like I want to have them fight like fucking dragons and like
Yeah.
like Book of Revelations has some cool shit, but they gloss over it.
It's like the
Have you
10-headed
heard
demon.
about the like what angels apparently actually look like?
Yeah.
They have like eyes on every like fucking limb.
Lots of wings.
Yeah, I s-
Seraphims have like 9 wings.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
every
anytime they
angel
appear,
is
people are
like, be
scared.
not afraid, and it's because people would see angels and be like, ah, the fuck,
Yeah.
because they weren't hot
freak
chicks
out.
yet. That wasn't until later.
Angels
It
are
was
hot
until the
chicks.
Renaissance came around.
And then came the cherubs, the little baby ones that are naked, which is kind of uncomfortable.
Well,
but
they
then-
incorporated so much of like, aspects of like Roman theology too.
Yeah. And
like,
then
Pan, this woodland god. Well, he's actually aspects of the devil with cloven hooves and horns and shit. All I do is watch like YouTube videos about this shit.
when did the angels in the outfield come around?
Well, that was when Joseph Gordon-Levitt said, I wish my dad was here. And God was like, all right, but only if you make a movie that truly sexualizes Scarlett Johansson in about
Yeah.
20 years.
Mm.
Did you ever see that movie?
No, which one?
Fucking Don Juan.
Oh, I
Don
know
Juan.
of it. I haven't
Fucking,
seen it,
Oh,
though.
yeah, where he's
fucking
like a-
Scarlett Johansson walking around with a Jersey accent. I wouldn't mind slapping the gum out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Throwing
Joseph
her against the wall,
Gordon-Levitt.
asking her who the Black Widow is now. Her crying, saying it's just a character she plays and to let her go. And that her husband, Colin Jost, is going to complain about me on Weekend Update. And I'm going to say, scream all you want. In this little scenario on a podcast I have, I'm God. I can make anything, dude. I'm just goofing, dude.
That's a good goof.
That never,
I'm
that-
glad you said you were goofing.
that never happened.
glad you said you
that
were
never
goofing.
happened. That never happened.
That
Reddit,
scared
calm
me.
down.
That scared
it
me
never
quite a bit.
happened. Stop it. Stop threatening to rape me.
Are you guys popular on Reddit?
No.
Okay.
People will say I'm awful, but what can you do?
That's
They're
Reddit, though.
they're right. I mean,
They're
I think I'm-
protesting Reddit right now.
well, I think I'm awful, so they must be right.
Is Reddit getting protested right
no,
now?
Yeah.
Redditors are protesting.
Redditors are
the corporation.
What's going on is Reddit is shutting down all third-party apps.
Mhm.
So there's the official Reddit iPhone app,
Right.
and then there's a bunch of other third-party apps that emulate Reddit, but sometimes they make browsing easier. They make it so you can optimize it and customize it a little bit.
Okay.
The Reddit app is very straightforward. So Reddit recently put out like a cease and desist to all third-party apps, and if third-party apps did want to use and continue to be on the iPhone store, then they'd have to pay like $2 million or something
Jesus.
ridiculous.
That's
Yeah.
all crazy.
So a lot of Reddit communities are going private in protest.
Damn right.
So that way, you can't kind of de-optimize
Right,
it.
like maybe to Discord. I've heard that there was a thing I heard where a lot of Redditors are moving to Discord. I don't know if
Discord's
that's
cool.
related to that
Discord's
or
cool.
not.
I don't
Hey,
know if you could
if you
use it the
subscribe
same
to the Patreon, you can be on the Locker Room Talk Discord, where you
Is it
see
Discord?
all kinds of cool shit.
Can I upload pictures of Sonic on there? Is there like a group chat where I
Why
can
don't
do
you
that?
save that one for the Fortnite Discord we're on?
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
that
And if
works.
you want to play Fortnite with us, me and Puff fucking hit me up for a completely separate.
They just added
Fortnite.
Raptors.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet. Are the
Dude,
Raptors
this
fun?
season fucking rules.
Yeah?
I wish I didn't have to do this fucking faggot podcast so I could
Yeah.
play a
Riding
fucking
around
video
Raptors
game.
with Optimus Prime. That's where the real fun.
He's the level 100 skin, baby. I'm level 22 right now.
So
I'm
you're
really
getting
grinding.
There. You're getting there. Do you guys
Now that I
play,
got my Switch, I
Fortnite
can
at
go
all?
anywhere.
Do they play Fortnite? Do
I'm
you
not.
Fortniters?
No, I don't know.
They're-
Have you
Fortnite.
thought about it?
They're not allowed access to that aspect of my life.
Okay.
But they're like disciplined guys where they're like, I want to fucking hustle and work.
Okay, I like that. Hustling, it's, you know, it's good.
Hustle and loyalty and respect.
And okay,
Yeah.
okay, I like that.
Jigsaw puzzles.
Is that a Sopranos quote?
No, it's just something I like to do.
Okay. That's
He likes
fun.
to throw the puzzle pieces on the ground and know exactly how many there are.
My grandma used to do a blank jigsaw puzzle.
What?
Like just a white, her
Like-
favorite color.
and just
multiple?
putting all the
Yikes.
Like she would
putting all the
repeatedly
pieces
do
together?
these?
No,
Or just
but
one?
There was an 1,000-piece white puzzle, so it was just based on shapes, and she
Okay.
finished it.
Autism runs rampant in the
I
family.
really
Yeah,
enjoy
That's
that.
It's
crazy,
contagious.
dude. That's wild. That's a
Do you?
too much free time.
I feel like. Have you ever done like a jigsaw of Washington crossing the Delaware? Because I feel like that would be
Ooh.
something
How
you
have
would
I
totally
not
do.
done that?
How have you not? Please do that.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna
glue it.
do. I'm gonna do one of the Trail of Tears.
The Trail of Tears. Why was it called that anyway? I mean, what happened on that thing? Was
A
it
lot
like
of people died.
And they cried.
Yeah.
Probably their friends and
Proud
family.
warrior race, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, guys, listen. In a couple of years, you're gonna have some great casinos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly,
They're like, you gotta move.
no one ever talks.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah, no
I
one-
don't want to get kicked
no one-
out of my land.
No one ever really talks about how the Cherokee were a bunch of crybabies.
He who can't let things go.
yeah.
Well, what do you expect? They were non-binary. You see that report?
Two Spirit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Two Spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that? They also
Close
had
to Matt, who's Jew spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, technically, because we are two spirits, I can have twice as many slaves on my reservation.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
very
good reason
cool.
to be Two Spirit.
Oh,
They
there were
loved
yeah.
having slaves.
Yeah, it was
they
like
Red Man loved his slave.
there were like Native American reservations, I think, in like Oklahoma, where after the Civil War, the U.S. military had to go in and take their African American slaves away because the Choctaw were just like, no, we fucking love our slaves. We're not a part of your country. Whereas we operate under our own rules. We don't have to follow your rules about abolishing slavery.
Were the natives kept in like a small fence and then the slaves in an even smaller fence?
Yeah.
It's like a fucking Russian doll of oppression.
Yeah. Dude, I just what's
Matt
up?
might be. Sorry, I was just gonna say Matt. I'm surprised Matt isn't a Fortnite guy because you are a video game guy.
No,
Not
he's
really.
not.
You're not a gamer?
When lockdown happened, you were playing video games.
That's
Yeah, I like got a game because there was lockdown.
I see.
But also the games since it's always like sports games since I was
NBA
like
Jam.
I'm NBA Jam as a kid. Yeah, I got MLB The Show during lockdown, and I'm obsessive, so I can go deep dive into a game. But yeah, I had NBA 2K when I had the brain surgery. I think I had the last Madden I had was like 5 years ago. I had the hockey game the year of lockdown also. But yeah, I'll like get a sports game. I think the last like RPG, or I don't even know, but like non-sports game I had when I was a teenager and I got really into Jack and Daxter.
That's a fun
That's
game.
a fucking
Yeah.
awesome
It's a
one,
great
dude.
game.
It was Jack and Daxter, and I think right before that was Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my god,
Even
dude!
better.
If you loved those games, you're gonna be blown away with what fucking
got some
video
cool
gaming.
Oh,
is
I'm
now.
sure I
stuff.
would. I've watched my brother play Red Dead, and I'm sure if I started playing
Dude,
it, I would be
you'd go
obsessed.
full
Get an
cowboy.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Get an Xbox Series X or Series S. It's
Series S.
Yeah, Series S because that's only like $250.
Yeah.
You can get the Xbox Live, and then you can just fucking play every video game.
Yeah, but I don't want to lose that much of my life.
Why?
Why not?
What else
Just
are you
jump
doing?
in.
What
Just
else are you
jump in.
doing,
Come
Matt?
on, the water's
You're
fine.
24 hours a
no.
day.
I'm trying to grind and do
Try-
this
What
comedy
What else
game.
are you doing?
Honestly, editing clips, like every one clip that you guys see that I put out or that I send that I make is like 2 to 3 hours of work.
Matt, that's insane.
They
That's
do have a
crazy.
podcast simulator video game. So like if
Yeah,
that's what you're
ooh.
trying to like get into,
Yeah.
they have that.
Maybe.
Maybe you. Why don't we just have fucking AI do this stuff for us now?
Make an
We'll do
AI
that.
make clips.
I think they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Absolutely.
Maybe. If AI could just do everything I have to do in my life, and honestly,
Finn, freaking me out.
I kind of want another lockdown. I want to watch Succession, but I got to start from the beginning. When there's like a big lockdown or something, I get to catch up on TV shows and play video games.
Yeah,
But
it's
outside
a good
of
reason
that,
to have a global pandemic every
Yeah.
couple of years. So we can
yeah.
just kind of
Well, because I don't have the self control to I have the self control to not bring a thing near me. But once it's there, I don't have the self like with junk food. I
Yeah.
won't buy it and bring it in the house. Once it's in the house, I'm eating it nonstop.
That's
So
fair.
with a video game, I just won't buy the game or get the game. If I have the game, I can't just like play for a half hour or an hour tonight. I'm gonna be up all night until I reach a point where I am okay with going to sleep, and that's gonna be way too late.
I think that's everybody's problem.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think that's the struggle of
I
life.
don't know. I'm pretty good about like hard bedtime at like midnight. 'Cause like sometimes I'll be playing a video game and I'll kind of be like, I'm tired, and like I'm not incentivized to like, I gotta fucking power through, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I can play it tomorrow. I can play this game every day for the rest of my life if I really wanted to.
No, see, I'll think I got to be up tomorrow morning for work or something, so I'm not going to be able to play this in the morning. So I got to finish this mission, which will
What?
keep me up till 4:30 in the morning.
Really? I just think like,
Yeah.
I'll get up at 6 and that's what I've been getting up at 6
Yeah.
a.m.
To like
playing
get some
Fortnite
early Fortnite in
before the kids fucking get up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like the kids start getting on around like 7 before school, and it's like, all right, we got to survive these 2 matches.
Yeah.
8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I still have an hour before work. Kids are at school. I'm in bot
found
lobbies.
that the kids are weaker in the morning or in the evenings?
Kids are weak late at night,
Okay.
and they're at their peak right before school because like they're like, let's get a dub before class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
God
It's like
damn,
the
these
best
fucking
part of their
kids.
day.
So I usually but I like Fortnite. I like Red Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing the Saints Row games a lot.
Those are fun.
Those are a lot of
They've
fun.
got Irish characters in that game, right?
Yeah. He
You
doesn't
want to get
know.
into that? If you want to get into Saints Row?
I'm kind of along the same lines with Matthew. I'm also bad at video games. Like my
You
brain
love
just.
Spider-Man.
I did have a lot of fun with Spider-Man. I feel like there was an after-school special where Joe was trying to get me to do drugs. It's like, come on, you love Spider-Man.
Dude, watch out. Spider-Man 2 is coming out, and it's going to be even bigger and better.
You get to play as Venom Spider-Man, so he's angry.
Venom.
Yeah, he's
Gonna
going to be
get 'em, get
aggressive.
'em.
And you have Manhattan. They added Queens and Brooklyn.
But
as
no
areas.
Jersey. I don't know how I feel about that.
They're going to get all fucking 5 boroughs.
Yeah.
And
I want all
Hoboken.
5 boroughs. I want to fight New Jersey people as Spider-Man.
That would be cool, man. They're eventually just going to have like some massive open world
Yeah.
superhero thing.
I
VR
also I
setup.
think I don't like I mean I like playing video games, but if as far as a if I'm not going to be doing something productive, what am I going to do? Like over the last couple of weeks, I've like gone out to bars with friends to watch like the NBA Finals or the Stanley Cup Finals, and if I have like a night where I'm able to do something, I feel like I enjoy that. Or maybe in the moment I like the video game, but the next day I look back and I'm like, that was a fun night more than I look back on the nights I played video games.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I'll always remember when I got
Missing
my
out.
fucking solo dub.
Yeah.
I was
Solo
fucking
dub in
camping out
Fortnites.
in a fucking truck, and I saw that there were 3 players left on the map.
I'll never forget being in an extremely cheap Jersey dive bar watching the Nuggets win the NBA championship.
They're kind of like the Fortnite of each other. You know, they complement each other.
Yeah.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
dude. You play Fortnite with friends?
Yeah. And if
In
I was
dive
playing,
bars?
maybe I was playing online with other friends. But that was the thing. I don't know. I don't think I'm that good at video games like the newer one. I was like awesome at fucking N64 Mario Kart. I'll dominate.
Games
but
are
like the
easy
new
now.
ones, I'm playing the computer all the time. I'm doing well, and then I play a baseball game against a friend, and it's just 0-0 the whole time because both of us are too good at pitching. Like I'd rather just play the computer.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you got to play against other people, like not
I've
just your
done that,
friends.
and then it's like sometimes I'm like better than them, and it's fun. Other times it's just like this is a boring game because this guy's just way too better than me.
You just got to get better, dude.
Yeah.
Just got to practice.
You got to get good.
I'd
That's what
rather
the-
just
go to the
play against
forums.
computer and have fun. Or go out and watch the Nuggets and the Las Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup.
Or play
Nuggets.
hentai games.
Or
But
hentai.
Nuggets,
there's
you were about
hentai
to go
games.
into Nuggets. There are hentai games. There's a lot of them.
Oh, wasn't there like the famous one? Like the guys got it like run and like fuck the girl at the end.
Yeah,
the guy with
the-
the hard dick. That's like an old one, right?
Well, honestly, most of the gameplay is not that great, really. It's like
Yeah.
the porn is the focus, which I don't like. I would like it if the I would really
Puff's trying to
no,
play
I
for
would,
the story.
I would really
Yeah.
like it if the gameplay was good,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
I mean,
man,
I
you
don't know if
should,
you can
Puff's upset
contest.
about the acting and writing in porn.
Yeah.
You gotta play Leisure Suit Larry then.
Yeah,
Leisure
that's the
Suit
one.
Larry?
Leisure Suit Larry. That's the
Oh, yeah.
famous one.
That's
Those
like
ga-
you're a sleazy porn guy, right? You're like, you know,
You're like a
yeah.
lounge lizard.
Yeah, yeah.
A
You're just trying to
throwback.
pick up some chicks.
Those games were like free on Steam for a hot minute, so I have like all 8 of those games.
Why is it called Leisure Suit?
Because he wears a leisure suit.
So he just chills?
Yeah, he's a fucking chill dude.
It's like
Yeah.
National Lampoon style, right?
Yeah, it's very fucking goofy and fun.
They should make a strip club tycoon.
Well, that was
man.
Grand
Like
Theft
Zoo
Auto.
Tycoon. Huh?
Remember when Grand Theft Auto you would go to the strip club and watch
Oh.
the
Yeah.
strippers like dance on you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
got
go
better
and
and
you
better
get
with
them.
each sequel?
They like you enough, you can call them up, bring them back to your apartment.
Yeah, when you're playing as Nico Bellic, the Russian guy, right?
Yeah.
You're like, my
Nico
God,
could do that, and then you could
Nico."
also like actually have like a relationship in GTA 5.
Yeah.
You could like call them up.
For-
Yeah, if you get you go to the strip club, you have them fucking fire it up, dude. We're
All
gonna
right,
do it
let's.
right
let's
now.
I really want to earn a
Arnett,
relationship
you
with a
Patreon
fake stripper.
watch along.
You have to. So what you have to do is at the strip club, when they're dancing, you flirt with them when
Uh-huh.
the bouncer's not around. So
Oh.
if he catches you, he's like, knock that shit
He's like,
off.
get out of here.
Yeah. But if they don't, they're like, oh, you're funny, you're cool, and he's like,
get to take 'em
baby, I
bowling?
think I love you, and they're like, here's my number, and then you can like pull them up on your phone and be like, hey, come over
Nice.
to the, and then you have to have like an apartment,
Uh-huh.
and she'll come over and dance for you and shit.
Nice.
The guy that's finally getting his life together in the video game. He's like, I got an apartment, I got a girlfriend, mom, more hot pockets.
Shit rules, dude.
Oh, after the Stanley Cup Finals, you see Joe Biden's like getting in some shit today because of it.
Uh-oh.
So he tweeted out, "Congratulations, Las Vegas Golden Knights, first major sports championship in Las Vegas." Which I actually had posted also like something about the first sports championship for Las Vegas. It's
Well, he
now
follows you.
I said it's now the city of like strippers, blow, and hockey. But he just like sent out a congratulations. I didn't even know this. The Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA team, won a championship last year, and so a lot of one of the players was like, because there's like, where's our invite to the White House? Because they invite the championship team to the White House, but they didn't invite the WNBA team last year.
Listen, man, we got WNBA. They're a bad hombre, man. That's funny, dude. Who cares?
So
He's
there is
senile
a
man,
in
dude.
Las Vegas. But that's the thing. It's not even like a senile old man thing to not know who the WNBA champion is.
Yeah, dude. No one knows
Like,
the WNBA.
Should they create a department of like the state to handle that to make sure we give invites to everyone? Because I think that's important.
Who do like to invite the sports champions? Maybe I know they. Yeah, I guess I don't know if they've ever invited the WNBA ones before. I know they invited. This past year there was a thing with the women's college basketball because there was Caitlin Clark, who was like huge with the University of Iowa, and she was like really popular. Like this year they had a couple of like college basketball games of Iowa women's college basketball that got more viewers than any of the men's college basketball because this one player was so entertaining.
How does that
Wasn't
make you feel,
Caitlin
Puff?
Clark the racist though? Wasn't
No,
she like
she-
she flipped
so-
off her opponent?
So Caitlin Clark, white girl,
You
gets
can't
to the
see me.
finals, faces Angela Reese, who is black girl from LSU.
Yikes.
And I mean, Caitlin Clark did the "You Can't See Me" and whatever.
Okay.
Angela Reese was talking shit, and then a lot
Oh.
of people went after Angela Reese, and that was like the thing people were saying, like it's racist to go after her, but not Caitlin Clark. But then it was like Caitlin Clark did it in the middle of the game. Angela Reese did it at the end after it was won. So people were like, "Well, that's why it's more disrespectful." It was
Well,
like,
and then Angela Reese was having a very loud conversation on the court on her cell phone on speaker
Yeah.
mode with her kids saying
Yeah.
like, you better be asleep when I get home.
yeah. I mean, she won the national championship, which you knew she would because she took her earrings out right before going out there to play.
Oh yeah, she was ready to go.
And but then so LSU won, and then they invited LSU to the White House because they won. It was a big deal. They were like, but also Iowa, this is great for women's basketball. Jill Biden was like, let's invite both teams, and everyone was like, you're inviting the loser to the White House when it's the white girl. Like that became a bit like, yeah.
She.
But didn't they take away the invitation because of that?
yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's even
Yeah.
better, dude. Well,
They're
have
just
them
trying
come
to,
at like a later
at
date.
At all points, they're just trying to do the thing that will get them the most like clout points, and they fucked up, so they were like, "I'm sorry, we'll do the other thing." My bad.
No, the fucking winner should meet Joe Biden. The runners-up should meet
Jill
Kamala.
Biden.
No, Kamala Harris, the vice
Caitlin
president.
Clark should have gotten the Medal of Honor.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
but yeah, then
And a Purple Heart.
but yeah, so
just every medal.
Purple Heart.
Just
I don't-
every conceivable medal.
I don't
medals
think
are there?
the-
Are there a lot of medals?
There's
Are
a
there-
ton, dude.
like
yeah,
the
probably.
There's a full metal jacket.
There is.
Oh.
What do you think that was? That was the most decorated soldier in the
I
history of
think
America.
that's heavy. That's what I think. That's
Yeah.
probably going to cause back problems when I was
Yeah.
wearing that.
That's right, dude.
I don't think
Chris
that they.
Kyle,
Yeah.
the full metal jacket, dude.
Was
Too
that
bad
the
he was
American
shot in the
Sniper?
head.
Yeah, now
That was
he's a full.
American Sniper,
now he's
right?
Yeah.
now he's a full mental
Didn't he
jacket.
get into an argument with a guy at a gun range, and that was why?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how he died.
The
And
guy
then
was
Jesse-
crazy though.
Jesse Ventura
Okay.
still sued him for slander after he died, and people were like, "You shouldn't sue him for slander." It's like, "Well, it's not like he's gonna pay for it. It's the government, and his wife's gonna pay for it."
I just want to prove that he lied when he said he punched me in a bar.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I hate Jesse Ventura, but I think Chris Kyle might be the only person I hate more.
Well, the worst part
Really?
was
Yeah.
if he wasn't killed, he and Jesse Ventura were going to settle that at WrestleMania. The American Sniper versus an all-American entertainer.
The governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura.
It looks like we've got an Iraqi child coming onto the ring right now. I wonder if Chris Kyle's going to be able to stop him.
There's black people looting in the theater, JR. They're taking everything. Now, wait, that's not looting. They're just getting essential supplies. Chris Kyle, he's trying to get the sniper rifling. He's trying to unhook it. He's trying to protect everyone.
Chris Kyle's about to win, but then out of nowhere, a drone came in. No, what? Why do you hate Chris Kyle? What was his? I don't know much
I mean,
about
Joe
him.
kind of alluded to it in his
Yeah?
bit.
I mean,
like
he
he just
won.
makes shit up.
He made
like,
up almost everything in his book, or it's been
Yeah.
like refuted.
the
which is
Tucker Max of the U.S. military.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's proven that he's the American sniper with the most kills. So why isn't he just happy with that? Like, why couldn't he be the American sniper with the most
What
kills?
did
He was
what
also
else did
saying
he-
he like pulled off like some impossible shot, like some inhumanly like 400,000, some
Did
crazy
he curve the
number.
bullet like in Wanted?
Yeah, exactly like in
Oh.
Wanted, where Angelina Jolie was there and he curved the bullet right
Yeah.
around her.
And then she fucked him. She
That was
fucked him because
awesome.
he's the American sniper.
Yeah, she's like, You killed all those fucking children."
It's like, hell yeah, that's
In
hot.
the name
you
of
curved
America.
the bullet. You
Is there a
learned how to
hentai,
curve
the
it.
American Diaper?
I'm sure. I'm sure. Oh. Been watched for 3 days. I haven't been able to leave my post.
Can you imagine your dad walks in on you jacking off to the American diaper? And there's so many elements of like,
Your dad just fucking sheds a tear, gives a salute, backs out of the room.
You're a real American son.
At ease, soldier.
starring Bradley.
As you were.
Starring Bradley Pooper.
Oh my. Oh my.
where were you when you fucked up your sexuality
Yeah.
by watching hentai
Yeah.
because you wanted to one time?
We'll put some shit in your ass. It's the American way. And Uncle Sam put your name at the top of his list. I'm just singing the song
Yeah.
now.
I figured-
I did the one pun, and now I'm just going to sing the rest of that Toby Keith song.
So that
Courtesy of the Red, White, and Pooh.
Oh, Matt.
I'm a retard.
4 poops ago.
There you go.
So the diaper was the weirdest hentai you've watched. What's the second weirdest hentai? Do you have a top like David Letterman style top 10?
Well, there's like
hentais?
just weird genres mostly. There's
Okay.
inflation, which is like, that's either like
Oh,
if somebody
yeah.
gets pregnant, or if they're like really, really fat, like absurdly fat. Like you would not be able to get a person that fat in real life, but
Okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog can become that fat.
Okay, like a New York
Wh-
City.
what about, like,
Stinky
type
socks, that's a big one. Stinky,
Stinky
feet.
socks.
Where they
Ooh,
like
we have a
draw-
fan that's into that.
They draw like the
Thanks for
green
watching,
stink lines.
Appreciate it,
Hello.
man. We'll do anything
Joe.
for money.
Let's all at the same time.
Yeah. Can we edit in stink lines? Can
Yeah.
we do that? Because that's really
No.
essential.
Matt's like, yeah, we can do that.
Please edit in the
That's
stink
like, it's
lines.
gonna take me another 3 hours.
It's okay if it's just like pixel
Well,
art. It's
okay, it
fine.
means I'm not going to be able to play a video game for another 8 years, but yeah, I'll add some stink lines.
Really good CGI stink lines. Yeah, there's
It
all
doesn't
weird
stink,
stuff.
and I mean this.
Pussy.
No, that sometimes stinks,
Ooh.
especially
Can be
the
stinky.
kind I get.
If that pussy's stinking, you taking too big a bite. You eating ass. A black man told me that.
Is that a Wild Man Steve bit?
No, it's just a black man. said
Have
that.
you guys listened to Wild Man Steve at all?
No, who the hell's Wild Man
He's
Steve?
like this old black comic that I found on Spotify.
Yikes.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's this old comic that I found on Spotify.
All
Thank
right,
you for
cool.
respecting
Of course.
Joe.
All right, cool.
course.
Carry on.
He's got a bit about fucking a pig that is just, it's one of the best bits I've ever heard. And I think it is just because he's doing it with so much enthusiasm. If we get a chance to listen to it, we should.
Wild Man
It's
Steve.
Wild Man Steve fucking a pig. That's the whole bit. I mean,
Yeah.
he talks about how everything about a pig is good.
Yeah,
and
you
it
gotta
ends
use every part of the pig.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
He talks about how he's like in this shitty town. There's no pussy, so he goes to the farm and he sees a pig,
Ooh.
and then he fucks it.
What?
And then his girlfriend arrives.
What are you gonna do when you're in a town and there's no pussy?
Exactly. You gotta fuck a pig, right? It's like A, B,
But I
C.
thought black guys didn't fuck with pigs.
Oh shit. Oh shit. A cab Bobby?
Did
I'm
you
sorry, go ahead.
Is
They
that with
do
the
like
B?
they do like fat white women,
Yes.
which is what I call.
Omerta doesn't apply to fat white girls.
Right.
BBWs, if you will.
BBWs, big
Yeah.
beautiful women.
Yeah.
How about BAWs, which is big average women?
Big average.
big
women?
Asian women?
No,
Big
big
Asian women?
Those are called sumos.
I need me a strong black man.
Yeah.
Dude, being black in comedy really does fucking help you because you could have the most dog shit premise, but you just sell it.
Yeah,
People are
dude.
like,
It's not being black; it's having good energy.
He had great energy.
A lot of
I-
black people have good energy.
I mean, but like if I was like, hey, sometimes you got fuck a pig. Yeah, my man knows.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would-
yeah, but there's a lot
exactly.
of anime blacks. They don't have that.
that's true.
The Hannibal Buress blacks. Yeah.
The autistic blacks.
They're still pretty cool though. You
They're
know,
cool,
fun
but
to
they
hang out
can't
with.
do what Bobby's saying. They
Hannibal
can't do the
Buress
premise.
couldn't do those premises, so he had to move over to music, and now he's a rapper.
Yeah.
He's a rapper?
yeah.
Like, is he good? You would know.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Okay. I thought you just
I,
knew
I feel
every
like
rapper.
We'll play some Hannibal Buress music between episodes, so you can weigh in on the Patreon.
I think Childish Gambino is a decent rapper, but I think people got a little too excited about because of the internet. Hot take. Because I felt like it was mostly filler. I'm not so I'm like a boom bap lyricist rap fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
A knick-knack paddywhack.
Give a
you would
dog a
say?
bone.
Yeah.
That's actually the name of my first album.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of. I feel like Kanye does this too, and that's why I didn't like Kanye until recently. Is that he's very like R&B focused. It's very like the beats. Like I don't know how to analyze a beat. I just know if a beat sounds good. Like I know if it moves my head, but it doesn't make
Okay.
me fucking like. I don't know. I don't get into like, oh, and this is this sample, and this is
Yeah, it's
Aretha
like a good
Franklin, and
drum
this is
line.
Miles Davis. You know, that doesn't matter to me. So, anyway, long story short, I don't know if Animal.
Well,
Burst
what
can
about
rap.
Bonfire? Do you like Childish Gambino Bonfire? I think that's got a good set of lyrics in there.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
he is the corny punchline king, which I do like, because people will shit on that sometimes. They're like, oh, it's like corny punchlines. I'm like, I love corny punchlines.
I think there's a lot of old rap that you listen to now that now it's like that would be a corny punchline now, but it's still like fun.
Yeah.
Gazy. Like I still think it's fun. But I also, if you were going to call something corny, I think there's a lot of stuff that we thought were sick burns in 1998 that are now kind of corny.
Like what?
Gazy is one.
That's fucking
Gazy.
awesome.
That's still good. Still good.
Well, now we'd say faggot Z.
They z they
They
them
Z.
z.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah.
I think also in what makes me kind of jealous about rappers is that they could be a little corny.
Yeah.
You can't be corny as like a comedian. Like you can't. Except
Oh,
for
really?
roasting though.
Are you sure? Because me so corny.
Oh, that is pretty good.
And that's a sample in a rap song.
Yeah.
Is it?
I did
Yeah.
actually.
Me so corny.
Me so horny.
Well, yeah, that's from, as we
Metal
said, Full
Jacket.
Metal Jacket,
Yeah.
the Chris Kyle story. Chris Kyle found like a prize parcel. There's like sucky $5, me so horny, and he fucking shoots her from a fucking long ass way away. That was like several football fields away.
She was about to loot a Walmart.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And he has
She was
to
like, me
walk
so.
like
She was
10.
gonna go buy a dildo because she was so horny, and he was like, not in this fucking place where we are
Not
currently.
in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Not until this Walmart is union busted.
Who do you think's the best sniper right now?
Right now.
Now that Chris Kyle is dead, probably Jesse Ventura
Hawkeye.
and Predator.
Hawkeye's probably the best sniper from the Marvel movies.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Oh.
Although I don't know after the accident if he's still.
I
Snowman.
stopped. I stopped watching Marvel shit after Endgame.
That's
I
fair.
tried to get
think
in-
that's a good place to end.
I tried to get into a few of the new things. Like I tried to get Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
yeah.
I watched that and it was like, no interest in seeing fucking Eternals. I didn't see Miss Marvel. I didn't see
How'd you like that?
I didn't see Captain Marvel, and I was like, this won't affect Endgame at all.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely fucking right.
Yeah, most
because the
of the
whole
movies
thing
are
is just
filler
like,
now.
oh, this bitch was off planet, and Nick Fury called her at the end of, that served as an introduction to
Yeah.
her. The strong bitch, she was too strong that they couldn't make a movie around her.
What about Guardians of the Galaxy? Did you see the new one?
I haven't seen the newest one
It's
yet,
really good.
but I've heard it's good.
It has the Beastie Boys in it.
And-
Not the actors, but like the.
I like. I feel like James Gunn will make, because like I had no interest in the DC universe. I didn't like any of those movies, but I like James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And I liked Pacemaker.
Peacemaker's amazing.
Peacemaker.
So Pacemaker. It's about a
Pacemaker.
fucking guy about to have a heart attack. So I will give I'll give it a shot. It seems like he has he understands that no matter what the concept, if you have good, strong characters that are well written and fleshed out, like everything else will kind of fall into place.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what who gives a shit about the Guardians of the Galaxy? But he made us give a shit about them. Nobody gave a shit about Guardians of the Galaxy before that fucking movie.
Yeah.
People were like, why the fuck are they making a movie about this?
I don't feel the need to watch enough Marvel movies to follow the ongoing stories, but I'll see one every once in a while.
You
I
do
saw,
now.
I saw Thor: God and Thunder because I just like the Thor.
Well, I heard that
movies.
one was bad.
I like anything really. If I saw any of the all the Marvel movies, I would probably like them. I remember when I watched the first Superman. I watched it with my roommate Mark Henley. May he live forever. And
dog.
he I was confused because I have such a shallow relationship with movies that I kind of like anything. And I was like looking at him multiple times like, this is a bad movie, right? Like I was confused that I'm so easy to please. And half of this movie is flashbacks, and I still don't understand everything that's happening.
Which Superman is this though?
The
Man of
first
Steel.
Man of Steel.
Man
yeah.
of Steel.
Yeah,
Not
I
the
like
one
Richard
before
Donner.
that.
And I also saw Wonder Woman 1984 and didn't like that.
Okay.
But for the most part, any of these I'll see. Thor, I love the Thor character. It's pretty much anything going on with him I'll find fun.
Did you see the Superman where Kevin Spacey played Lex Luthor?
I don't think so.
Because that was like
Superman
in
Returns.
between.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
Superman
That was an
loses-
awkward one.
His son has autism.
Yeah, well, he fucked Lois Lane when he was depowered, and because
Yeah.
of that, he has a half Kryptonian son.
Was
who's
it
slightly
required that he was
retarded.
depowered? Like, would he have killed her otherwise?
Well, that's the thing in the
that
comics.
was
In the
implied?
comics, Superman and Lois have a regular kid, and he was fully powered up, so he can control his jizz on a subatomic level.
Nice.
What I watched the first 15 minutes of Ant-Man and the Wasp last night.
Yeah, I heard that was
Awful. I fucking turned it off, and it's like, why are you spending so much money making this shitty CGI with actors that are clearly just in a room with a green screen? Like that whole movie.
that
they
was
are-
Paul Rudd, right?
Yeah, they are in a, it was like, oh, this was a fucking pandemic movie. They're all in a room with a fucking green screen.
Yeah.
It all takes place in the subatomic universe.
No, it worked on me. I thought
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah, but it was I didn't like because it was like, okay, way too much of this movie is reliant on you watching all the other fucking movies up until that point.
They do a bunch of callbacks. Like,
So
remember
much-
when Thanos?
Yeah, and they were like, and this, and this, and this, and it's like, okay, so the story can't stand on its own. And I just turned it off because I was like, why are you making this movie with kind of shitty CGI at this point? When just make an animated movie that looks really fucking good. You have the technology, like that What If series.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, and that's super stylized, but it's still good.
Yeah.
It still told a fun story that they can only really exist in that animated medium without it looking super fucking fake. You know?
You just quick in, quick out, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just experiment a little bit with the storylines.
Exactly.
I did rewatch a few nights ago. I got home. It was midnight. I'm like, I had time to watch a movie as I'm going to sleep, and then ended up staying up and just watching all of Bruce Almighty
Jim
with
Carrey,
Jim
right?
Carrey. That movie's awesome.
With who
Jim
plays,
Carrey,
who
Jennifer
plays God?
Aniston.
What's his name? The guy who
Morgan
plays God.
Steve
Freeman.
Carell.
Morgan Freeman as God.
Yeah.
Steve Carell as the rival at work for Jim Carrey.
And then they did a sequel with him, with
Yeah.
Steve Carell.
Almighty.
Yeah, where he plays
Yeah.
Noah, right? He's
Yeah.
trying to save all the animals and
Yep.
people.
Yeah.
Like everyone thought he was crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and like because of that, and then just like the real Noah, he has sex with his daughters.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
That's how you save the planet.
You forget how fucking kinky the early Bible shit was. I believe that's Matt's people's Bible. See, we got a little thing called the New Testament, where God had a white son, and he realized he had to get his act together.
Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, dude.
He had a white son?
Yeah, Jesus was white.
Jesus was he the only white one? Everyone else
He was
was
the
That's
only
Middle
why
Eastern?
Jesus was killed. It was the first black on white crime.
God damn.
The black Jews.
The
Were
black,
like,
The black Jews
Black
killed
is
Jesus.
blacks are the real Jews, but because we hate black.
yeah, the black. They're the ones that killed Jesus. Yeah, these black Israelites killed Jesus, dude. Get lost. We go up to a
bullshit.
black. Get lost, Christ killer. Just fucking yelling at these fucking black. going to a Black Lives Matter
Whoa,
protest.
Joe,
Get
Joe.
lost, Christ killer.
Christ,
Oh,
Christ,
George Floyd.
No.
Jesus Christ. We just-
Christ kill law.
Christ kill love.
Yeah.
Ghost Killer's little known brother. That's so funny, dude. And then people are like, "Oh, that's ignorant." It's like, no, black people told me they were the real Jews, and I listened to people of color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a little research.
Did my own research.
Yeah, found
Black
out they
people
killed-
run-
That
black
makes
peop-
sense. That would explain their bloodlust for killing our Lord and Savior,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But thanks for dying for the sins, big guy.
Black people
Big
run the
fan of that.
media.
Shout out
fan up
Jesus
there.
if you're listening.
Black
Subscribe to
people-
Big
Patreon.
fan of not having to sacrifice
Yeah.
Finn to God.
Black people control the banks and the weather.
It's a new day for black people, dude. The thing with killing Jesus, it is
You want to let the expert speak on this?
Matt,
The
tell
thing
us.
with killing Jesus now.
Matt,
You got to
dude.
drive that nail into the hand.
Yeah.
What
Was it
was it
just
like?
one or two nails?
It was pretty chill. We were all chilling.
Matt
Yeah.
would have been the guy, the fucking soldier that stabbed Jesus to make sure
Oh,
he
with
was
the
dead.
spear
But,
of destiny?
Yeah, but they were like,
Yeah.
"Get the fuck away from him, Matt! What the fuck are you doing?" And Matt's just going up there, fucking poking him unprompted.
Start
Fucking
poking
gets
his
in
dick.
eye.
You know what Matt would
Ew,
say?
I got a little Jesus on
Gets
me.
in his eye. That's how AIDS was actually invented.
Jesus was the first AIDS patient.
Yeah, but Matt was too ashamed to say he was like fucking poking the dead Lord and Savior. So he was like, "I fucked a monkey."
Matt would say, "I'm not really into killing Jesus, but like as a social event, I'll go.
Yeah.
It's a
I'll
cool
go and
hang.
kill Jesus
It's a
like
cool
everybody
hang.
else is."
It's a
Killing
social
Jesus-
yeah, it's a social crucifixion.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the crucifixion was a pretty good hang.
Most
Not just
public
for
executions
Jesus.
were. Like, didn't they used to do the whole guillotine thing, and people would like gather and watch on rooftops and
Yeah.
bring snacks and
yeah,
stuff?
dude.
I mean, that was even just like hangings in the U.S. where like
Yeah.
the town
Yeah.
would gather
Didn't
to
you,
see
didn't
the
you see
hanging.
that shit in Red Dead? You'd see that in Red Dead Redemption 2 if you played
I
that
saw.
fucking
I,
game.
yeah, I saw
Well, I
it. in-
always saved people in that game, and when I came
Yeah.
across the KKK in that game, I killed them.
Well,
I
but
killed him.
there's certain you bring in the bounties.
Brandon-
you bring in the
yeah.
bounties though, right?
I bring in the bounties.
If you bring in the bounties, you can go back to that town later and see them get executed
Can I save them?
if you wanted to. But then the fucking,
you want to
Still get
capture the
money.
KKK and then
Yeah.
collect your bounty and then go back and save
but then
them.
you
I'm a
gotta
good person.
you gotta escape all the cops and shit.
Oh, that's easy enough. I feel like on a horse.
That game fucking rules,
It
man.
does rule.
I fucking love that game.
I mean, just back in that era, if you just like left to the next town, you
Mm-hmm.
were just gone. Like no one would ever find you. It's kind of sick.
And then you stick
could just-
around. You could probably go back to that town in like a few years because
Yeah.
you know there's so much turnover.
Yeah, just go to the next state.
Yeah.
You have like 50 new lives.
Grow a beard.
Yeah,
Give yourself a different name.
yeah,
Something more Irish or Polish. Something that was less hated in that town.
yeah.
Right. How often did the whole picnic during the Civil War thing happen? You know, where like rich people would. Was that
Oh,
like
literally,
common?
like,
that was
the
the first,
first one.
Yeah, the
Oh.
first. They thought because they thought it was just gonna kind of blow over.
Okay.
Wait, what was this?
The first battle of the Civil War, people were like camped out.
to watch,
Battle
yeah.
of Bull Run or First
Yeah.
Manassas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it was right outside of Washington D.C. So everybody in the North, like the Union supporters, were like, "We're gonna kick these hillbillies' ass. It's gonna take like a second." And then so some of them did even bring picnic baskets, and then fucking the Confederates were like, "Actually, we're really passionate about this," and it ended with people literally grabbing their picnic baskets and running, like in terror, back to Washington D.C. They thought that like they were going to get captured like as civilians or that the Confederates would even take DC, and they could have, but they didn't. because that's like they didn't think it was that serious yet. The Confederates, they were like, we won't take DC. That takes it to a whole nother level. The Union has learned their lesson, but they didn't.
Charles, we should leave in case these hooligans take our picnic baskets. Going to take our munchies.
I
We
love
just wanted to watch the riffraff.
It's kind of wild in hindsight to think about the idea that there were people who lived not that long ago, within the last couple hundred years, who were like, let's go have a picnic and watch the war.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go watch the Southerners.
Yeah, now we just watch it live stream, dude.
Yeah, on Reddit where
They
they're
didn't
like,
have live leak back then, Matt.
Yeah,
They had to
that's
go in
true.
person.
They
We
didn't
got
have
like
Ukrainian
4K drone footage.
Yeah. And then people in the Reddit comments like, this guy, he's just getting his arm blown off. The
Look at
fucking
this.
Russian
Damn, it is
monster.
exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's just more comfortable now. You don't have to run in terror.
Now you
There
don't
were
even have
yeah.
to, now you can be morbidly obese while
Yeah.
eating chips.
There were,
so-
there were people around the fucking like picnic blankets, seeing someone get shot and looking at their friend going, "You got pwned."
Yeah.
Freaking bones. You see where I got shot? He's a fucking loser.
Yeah. God, I was just like, hey, imagine that people would do that, and I realized, oh yeah, the exact same thing happens today.
Yeah, people don't really change, you know.
Yeah.
But
the
back
same.
then, you couldn't upvote your favorite
Yeah, your
kill. You just
favorite
had to.
murder.
Yeah.
Top 10 epic Ukrainian war fails. Brought to you by
they
League
put
Shadow
out
Legends.
Yeah. When they put heavy metal,
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is the Civil War.
This one's
Bob-
called the Slave Whip, and then he just gets whipped.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Bobby?
I don't think I was.
Heavy
gonna-
metal.
You
Oh,
want to
when
play
they
heavy
put
metal?
fucking heavy metal music into people getting killed,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Yeah, it's almost metal, I would say.
It's pretty metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never watch these like compilation videos?
Of people getting fucked
Yeah,
up.
of people getting like droned or whatever.
Yeah.
But they'll play like Megadeth or Slayer.
yeah, ditches
and dig through the ditches and stand.
There was the Michael Moore documentary. I think it was Fahrenheit 9/11, where he shows like kids going either to Iraq or Afghanistan, and he shows like this one like 19-year-old like standing on a tank, just a dumb kid, and he's singing "Burn, motherfucker, burn." Like he's talking about Iraq or Afghanistan. He's like, the roof is on fire. And Michael Moore is like, can you believe this? I'm like, well, yes, I
Yeah.
can believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's who.
It's a dumb kid.
Yeah, you would like to think that it was all these.
So much of the stuff that they put out there is like, can you believe someone did this? I think is like a dumb kid trolling. So many times where there's just like this racial slur or this gay slur was this swastika was drawn here. I'm like, a lot of times it's like a 15-year-old thinking he's being funny.
Yeah.
And it is funny.
It is hilarious.
It's very funny.
It's a
It's-
15-year-old
yeah.
with a great sense of
It's
You're
humor.
an
Joe
uncovered
Gorman.
genius.
38-year-old Joe Gorman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but young at heart.
Yeah, dude.
15 on the inside.
Which is like, you know, if someone's putting like swastikas on a temple, it's still not great, but it is different when it's a 15-year-old kid doing it to be funny versus like Nazis who want to kill the Jews in there.
I don't see a difference, honestly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
Tom's
see a
brave,
difference.
dude.
Same.
Yeah.
It's the same. You know it's the same.
So we've
Don't
talked
look at me
about
like that, Bobby.
we talked about your first hentai and
Yeah.
the weirdest hentai. What's your favorite hentai?
Favorite
I thought you were gonna
hentai.
ask what's mid head tie.
Mid hentai.
Yeah. You're like, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Mid-hen. There's a lot of mid-hentai. It's a lot of the
Milk
90s
junkies.
stuff. A lot
Yeah.
of the 90s stuff.
Okay.
No, there's this one in particular called Resort Boyne, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
We will have a link in the Discord.
We'll have a link in the Discord. It's basically a guy who goes on vacation and then he just has a bunch of sex, and it's pretty great.
Okay.
Because there's like a
Wait, is
new
that
woman every
Kramer's-
4 minutes.
Is that Kramer's Hentai Adventure?
No, but I remember that game. Yeah, it's like a flash game.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was also a flash game where you played as Bill Cosby hitting people with a purse as they walked by your house, and you would bury them in your house.
Yikes.
And then like Urkel would come and be like, "No, did I do that?"
Is this a video game or a fever dream you had?
No. This is like a flash game. So this is like games people would upload themselves after making it online with like clip art.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
it was a
warnings
weird
were
one.
all there.
They were all there.
I
We knew it
remember
was gonna
playing
happen.
shockwave games.
Shockwave?
It was like water balloon drop, where you have to you're on a roof and you just go back and forth and drop water balloons on people
That's a fun
walking
one.
by.
Did
and if you
you-
like hit the old woman, you lose points or something
Why you should
like
gain points for that? Taking her
that.
out of her
Maybe it was.
misery.
I think it was like you had to hit certain things, but not other things.
Okay.
It was like an astronaut who you would hit, and he would just go, "Houston, I've fallen and I can't get up." I was like, "That's pretty cool."
I like that. Do you think they actually landed on the moon though?
No.
No, not a chance.
Come on, dude.
You don't think
Come
so?
on. This is
You don't
like I
think
know
so?
we joke around, but come on.
Is it like well established Stanley
Stanley
Kubrick?
Kubrick?
Yeah.
He like had messages in The Shining.
Yeah, the Apollo shirt, right?
Yeah.
And then the
The
guy that
Apollo
gets
shirt,
murdered.
He like photoshopped in like Apollo in the clouds when they're driving to the Outlook Hotel.
I didn't know
Well,
that.
you would think like the footage of the moon at the beginning where the music's like bum bum. You're like, that's probably Kubrick, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, that's what the moon sounds like too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is so fun now that it's like of no consequence. Like back then, it was such a huge deal that we get to the moon before Russia. It's of like no consequence now. So it's such a fun conspiracy theory to be like, nah, we didn't do that because it means
Yeah.
nothing
Well,
if we
isn't
did
it-
or didn't.
Isn't it also funny that Russia beat us in every aspect of space exploration except sending a man to the moon?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
orbited Earth first.
They put a
did-
monkey in space. That's the most important one, I think.
man
They broke
died
the
in space.
they
Man
broke
died in
the
space.
atmosphere before us too.
Yeah, with the satellite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, first satellite up, I
The
know.
big fat astronaut.
Wasn't the
broke
first
atmosphere.
guy in space? I heard this recently that he came back down and then 6 months later he died in a car crash.
Probably.
Is that real?
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like I would really expect you guys to know everything about his
Everyone was so
journey.
afraid of everyone was so afraid of Sputnik.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think America like still that residual. You know, because like we're
Sputnik
a pro
was the first shuttle in space, right? Yeah, we're a pro-Russia podcast.
we're a pro Russia
yeah.
podcast.
Right.
Pro Russia.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
We fucking hate that little fucking country.
Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hate that Ukraine and that little fucking turd president, dude.
Freaking Zelensky.
Yeah, Zelensky. What a fucking nerd.
Repeatedly ignores our request to come on the podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Repeatedly.
Whereas Vladimir Putin was like, "Carry on. You're doing my work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you."
No, he said he had a thing going on, but I think he really wants to be on. He's just busy. He's got a lot going on.
Well, he's dying of cancer. He's been dying of cancer for like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, Putin.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You've
He'll-
seen the pictures of him, right? Where he's
he'll-
got like
He's got that big fucking face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll brush it off, dude.
He's
think
so
so?
paranoid about getting killed at all times, which isn't irrational.
Yeah.
But it has to weigh heavy on your mental health.
I'm sure.
Yeah. You ever see those pictures where it's like him on one end of a table and like everybody else is on the other end? And it's because he's cautious about COVID, but really he's like, I don't want a July 20th plot to happen to me too.
Yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
like, if anything, it's like that makes him an easier target. It's like, oh, Chris Kyle could fucking knock your ass out,
He could curve the bullet.
fucking 3 miles away, dude.
Goddamn.
Fear
There's a basketball player, Ben Simmons, who's so bad at shooting 3-pointers that when he's dribbling behind the 3-point line, no one guards him, and everyone's just standing under the basket. And I imagine that's what it's like at Putin's meetings.
Sounds like BS.
Ben Simmons. Nice. Well done.
nice. Damn.
Thanks, man.
Damn, you're a genius, Bobby.
Thank you, dude. It's
Damn,
also my
Bobby.
initials.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't even make the fucking. This is why we need you, Bobby.
But
Don't
it's
ever go.
ironic because I'm such a truth teller.
Yeah. Don't ever go to London again. Because we can't do the podcast without brilliant observations like
How
this.
was London, old boy?
It was good. It was a nice time.
Did you get any mutton chops? Or perhaps any
That's-
eel pie?
I'm so uncomfortable.
Did you eat any eel pie
Bob
when
has
you
a
were in
way
London?
to make you feel very uneasy if he wants to.
I try my best, young boy.
Hell yeah. Puff, where can people find you? Where can we follow you? What's up next?
Yeah, you can find me at BPuff Comedy on Instagram. I do
Good
some
follow. Very, very
I
funny.
do some AI video things that are kind of fun
Yes.
sometimes.
You've
and
done a
some
couple.
memes.
The last one of the last fight clubs you did. You did
Yeah.
some AI during the roast. That was a lot
Yeah,
of
where I
fun.
had Joe Rogan express his opinions about my opponent and how
Yes.
he's gay and not good at comedy,
Yes.
and how he should never be allowed on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
And so it's all real. It's real.
Yeah.
It's real footage, real audio clips.
Yeah. He had he had an audio clip from Tucker Carlson
Yes.
talking about comedian Pedro Garcia.
Pedro Garcia and how he's one of the newest transgender athletes in the sport of sucking himself off,
Yeah.
which is
Well,
it's
they
a very
clearly have an unfair
dominant.
advantage.
They're so much more bendable.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and
Thanks,
we'll
guys.
see you next time. Follow B Puff Comedy.